So I was trolling through the internet, as I always do, and I found this absolutely weird and wonderful post by Useless Footy Stats. And it got me thinking, is there a better way to do the AFL fixture? In today's video, we're going to look at just a concept I've come up with to see if we can make the AFL a little bit more longevity in the season, a little bit more exciting. So without any further ado, let's run that intro and get straight into it. So obviously there is so many games, and right now, usually after the bye, we can draw a line under 6 teams that won't make the AFL finals, which means that 6 teams potentially are playing for nothing but pride and hoping their membership doesn't plummet and fall off a cliff. So what we aim to do is try and look at that thing. So what we'll do here is we'll look at what we're aiming to do. Firstly, if there's 19 teams in the AFL season when Tasmania come in, we want to have no soft, lopsided double fixtures and double ups. We want to make it as clean and as fair as possible. So first thing what we're going to do is we're going to have 19 games that are 18 team games that are unique. Each team plays each other once. We want a clear ladder. We want to reflect the team's quality, not fixture luck and the incidentals. And we also want to try and gather in some kind of venue equality, if you will. Some venue equity, we'll call it. So obviously we're going to keep gather round in this scenario. And then in the phase 2 of our plan in the league, which we will show you, that's when the home and away balance comes in. Travel reality is a big thing. The system currently rewards sides that have great home ground advantage. The fact that we don't have many individual home rounds means that interstate games become really premium. But we're trying to make sure that teams get rewards for winning interstate. High stakes running as well. We have so many games at the minute that are dead runners. This method, I feel, albeit out there, is good, and that gives that bottom integrity, honest matchups, rivalries, and development in a safe environment. You don't want to be Essendon playing Adelaide and having huge injuries and having to restructure when you know you're not playing finals and then losing by 80 or 90 points. It's really bad for development. So we've tried to look at that avenue there. And then we've tried to reduce the outliers when you do so well in a season. What we see, in my personal opinion, of the finals is when you are in the finals, there's no benefit from being incredibly good. There's 8 teams out of 18. That's just under 50%. That doesn't seem to me that there's much advantage for being good for 23 rounds. And then, obviously, we've got still kept the big things. Fan experience, club value, broadcast rights, and that neutral grand final. So let's have a look at phase 1. So as you'll see, what is phase 1? Phase 1 is 19 teams, 18 games each, one versus every opponent. 19 rounds means the bye is staggered from round 1 till May. Round 3 will be gather round, Adelaide Oval, a neutral venue. One of the clubs at gather round will get the benefit of playing twice because there's 19 teams. So what I mean by that is one of them will count to one of their home games. If we do change gather round, that works out. If it's Queensland, if it's Tasmania, rah-de-rah-de-rah. Home and away balance. Round 3, the bye clubs, 9 home, 9 and away. Others split 9-8, 8-9. There's kind of a lopsided ladder. So how we've tried to do it is we've flipped it that the higher you finish the previous year, the less home games you have, and 18th, you get a little bit more of a favourable advantage. That's where we've got the draw equality. And venues flip later. So when you do split in phase 2, you will get away games if you had home games against that opponent. So that is a very key thing. So then what we did is using my TPI, my algorithm, we ran these simulations based on the last 2 years and with a projection for next year. I know Tasmania aren't there, but this is what we came up with. So Adelaide are the minor premiers at round 19, at the halfway point. Geelong, Gold Coast, Freo, Hawks, Pies, Lions, Dogs, GWS, Carlton, Sydney, Essendon, St Kilda, Melbourne, Port, Richmond, North, Eagles, and Tassie, right? So Tassie finished bottom. So what happens here is, as we say, the top 10 split off now, and they will play each other again in a singularity once. The bottom half will play each other once more too. Now, what the benefit here is the teams from Sydney to Tasmania, they will be able to develop their teams in more even contests. So a lot of these teams now can develop. The young kids won't be getting walloped. There's a little bit more fairness. Obviously, what we try to do at this stage of the season, why this works in my opinion, and I know it's just my opinion, and obviously people are going to say there's too many games, Pom. Maybe there needs to be, because there's going to be a better avenue for broadcasting rights. I also feel, as a Carlton fan myself, if this system merged now, I wouldn't be so upset about playing teams like Gold Coast, Hawthorn, things like that, because we're playing more lower-rung teams where we're building, and then there's a real focus on development and a real impetus then to not just win games or keep the scoreboard respectable. It's about developing for them kids. So this is phase 2. It splits. Top 10, bottom 9. All fixtures use flips from phase 1 meetings. They play each other once. Bottom 9 play each other once. Purpose, tough running for the contenders. The cream will rise to the crop. And for teams that are rebuilding or resetting, more honest schedules. And the final seasons take place from the end. And anyone from 11th below, no matter what they win on the ladder, they can't break into the top 10. So effectively, everyone is reset, right? Reset. The points still count, but even if 11th won all of its 8 games, they don't play finals because they've got the lesser thing. They can only win that secondary thing. So what does that look like after 1,000 times? Not many changes. You'll see there that Carlton dropped down a little bit. You'll see that Fremantle rose up a little bit. But the final ladder would take place that this is where the finals comes in. So the finals, we're going to have a playoff between 5 and 6 for the rights to play 4th. We tried to keep that top 10 really exciting. So there's a lot of play for. There's a lot of non-dead rubbers. Adelaide, Geelong, Fremantle automatically qualify for the semi-finals. Gold Coast, Hawks. Gold Coast will get the advantage of going through, but Hawthorn and Brisbane will now have to face off in a deciding playoff game. So the top 6 qualify for phase 2. There's a playoff, 5th versus 6th, at 5th's home. Winners advance. Then there's the qualifying, 4th versus the 5th, 6th at the 4th's home. And then this is where we get exciting. The semi-finals is over 2 legs. Home and away. 1st versus the qualifier. 2nd versus 3rd. If there is a tie on aggregate, we're not going to do away goals or anything like that. Extra time is played, 10-minute half. So no quarters, just a 10-minute flat out. And the grand final at the MCG. So in our simulation for 1,000 times, in the playoff at the G, Brisbane did win out. Then we went on to Gold Coast, entertained Brisbane at home. Gold Coast won. And then in the semi-finals, we had over 2 legs. Adelaide, Gold Coast, Adelaide won out. And Geelong in semi-final, 2 over 2 legs, beat Fremantle, meaning the big dance was Geelong winning against Adelaide at the death. So this is just an idea. And I really want to put this out there. This isn't what I'm saying you should do. This is an idea that I really like. And in synopsis, the reason that I really like it is the fact that we've got something to play for them lower half teams. We've got the fixture equity at the start of the year as well. Everyone plays, everyone wants. You can still slot these fixtures in quite easily. So you've still got Anzac Day and things like that. But we have created a better brand, in my opinion, because effectively, over the last 10 years, the top 10 by round 18 are making up finals. So let me know what you think. It's a very interesting concept. I'd love to hear your guys and girls' thoughts. As always, that's why I made this channel click. Make sure if you do enjoy the content, you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe. We're nearly at 9K. It'd be grouse to get over 10K by the draft. Much love to everyone. See you soon. Pommy, out.